What's up? What's good? What's happening, everybody? It is I, the actual King Smith, back up in this thing for another live stream of the Sports Bar here at WTF Nation Radio, where two U.S. military veterans come up, talk all things sports, life, and things in general. I'm glad to have the man, the myth, the legend, right over my left shoulder right here, Coach, to co-host with me. Coach, let the people know something. Coach, there is something coming up in March, but I messed up. I don't think the people can hear you. Let's try this again. Say
Oh
something.
dear God!
There you go.
So now, great. Now I got to go through that whole thing again. Hey, what do you hear? What do you say? Yeah, you guys can kiss my ass. Anyway, regardless of that, what I was kidding about that. What I was saying is, it's been boring. It has been.
Yes.
Football gone. There's no sports on right now. The NBA does a terrible job at marketing itself, as college basketball seems to be on all of the major networks. There's no NBA on a Sunday on regular broadcast TV. There's no hockey that people are interested on broadcast TV. I'm just going to say this: college sports right now is what's the king that holds everybody together until, well, the NFL draft. That's an unfortunate state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what college basketball is up against now, because the NFL is truly the ones that are getting our attention, because the NBA and the NHL sure as hell are not right now.
No, and I'm wondering if it's a twofold problem. If it's a problem because of how people are watching television right now. I can't tell you the last time that I've paid for cable. It's been a decade or so
Yeah.
since I've had cable. And if it's on like any of the live channels, like how the NFL's been sliding its way into Amazon Prime and what's the other one that they've done? The Fox
Yeah.
network, Peacock. Then
Mhm.
yeah, I'll catch it. Otherwise, I have to go up a friend's house or find other means of being able to watch it. Hint, hint. But I think it's a combination of exactly what you just said. Like, there's a gap in the major sports, or the ones that I consider major, right? There are people that are huge soccer fans out there, and they can't wait to go to the soccer or football, as some people say, and catch those matches. I don't watch that stuff, but they're playing it. It's just
Okay,
it's not on TV.
I'm not gonna lie. The EPL did get me going. For a little bit. I had no problem with that. And watching Holland, Erling Holland over there in Man City, that guy is a scoring freaking machine. I did get a little bit involved with that, but I don't know, man. Even NASCAR right now is not getting me excited.
Hmm.
We're 3 races into the NASCAR season. I'm not excited. Formula One's just right on the corner. I don't know when exactly it's going to be, but I don't even, I'm waiting for that to show up, because there's nothing else that I can think I can actually, actually want to go ahead and watch.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I agree. Now, we have a couple of things that we're going to get into today. There was a lot of sports stuff that's came out over the last couple of days. If you want to call wrestling sports, WrestleMania was pretty interesting. I have to say I was uh
Well, WrestleMania is not until April, but it was Elimination Chamber that just happened, because
that's
I
what it was.
just saw that about 10 minutes ago.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there was a lot of buzz about that one. There was a UFC fighter that had to go to the hospital in Las Vegas to take a precautionary CT scan of his head and face. And I watched some of the highlights of the fight. And combat sports in general are one of those things that it didn't look like a lot of bad things happened. But apparently, when he got backstage, he started doing this right here. So they took him in to get some precautionary measures. Steph Curry dunked for the first time in 6 years during the game in which he had 56 or 58 points total. Ended up shooting 12 threes, one away from the record. 12 made threes in a regular season game. And so they're trying to bridge that gap of having some exciting sports news. But when you get to March, there's really only one thing that matters in March, and that is March Madness. So, for those of y'all out there, I'm going to drop the link to Coach and I's March Madness Challenge that we're hosting here at WTF Nation Radio. So I'm going to put the link over on the Sports Bars page. Ooh, I almost put the wrong link. Give me a second. Let me go back and find the right link. Here we go. This is the right link. So I'm dropping the link in all of the platforms here. As soon as my Page decides it wants to copy and paste itself. Goodness gracious, what is going on, Coach? Feel some time. Hey, here we go. Never mind.
No,
Never
no,
mind. I
no,
got it.
no, no. I am going to be rather. I got no problem with that because, as we were mentioning with college basketball, man, just like college football, the SEC has turned dominant in this past freaking year. But I have mentioned that I have a team out of the Big East that I really do think would be pretty daggone good, and that is St. John's itself. I would have no problem seeing St. John's in the Final Four, and I really do think that actually can happen. But that's a different story for a different time after there, buddy. You got the link
Nice.
in?
What'd you say?
You got the link up?
Yep, the link is there. It is on the Sports Bars page. It is on all WTF Nation radio platforms in the chat. It is also going to be on my page, The Actual King Smith, over on Facebook here in a second. But it's free to enter.
Hmm.
And there is a cash prize if anybody thinks they could actually beat me. Coach thinks it's going to be him. But I'm going to tell you right now, Coach, I do pretty good at these. So I don't think you have a chance in hell, my man.
Let's see. Seeing the fact that I did win it last year, I know that I'm going to be. I won the one I was in last year, one that's been standing now for close to 45 years, maybe 50 years or so. But I won that one, and anytime that I've won that one, I know damn well that I'm going to win this next one. I have been studying. I have seen how things have been going, man. I am going to win this one.
Why you got to
Oh, am
bring
I
up
going to
old
win?
news? Why you got to
Old
bring up old
news,
news? That's last year. We talking about this year, baby.
man. This year, trust me, I will be winning it. It will definitely be happening.
All right, let's acknowledge the chat here before we continue. Shout out to Matthew Lewis over on Facebook. Said, I landed on this page twice because you are twice as awesome for doing that. Thank you for tuning in, Matthew. We got my baby, my boo thing. Michelle Early is in the building. Said, good evening. Coach, she's trying to get me off the face of this planet early. Let me tell you what she did.
Oh dear God, what you do, man?
So I have a heart condition. I talk about
Yeah,
this very
yeah, yeah,
publicly, right?
yeah.
And the doc told me that due to some additional news that I gotta lose 30 pounds in 6 months. Well, if you are mm, somebody that has knowledge about this stuff, diet's a big component of how your body uses the nutrients and things to get the energy that it needs and drop the body fat and all of that stuff. And whereas your boy here is used to eating steaks and beef and hot dogs and all the meaty manly things, pause.
Yeah,
She got me eating ground turkey, lean,
yeah.
salads with strawberry and no dressing, and all this and that, man. And I can't do it, Coach. I can't do it. if eating steaks and beef shares 5 years off my life, then let's do it. She ain't gonna like me saying that. She is not gonna
Nah,
like me
man.
saying
Nah,
that.
nah, 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 nah. Look, man. You got to do it. Trust me, it's not that hard. It is not that hard. I've done it before. You can still have some red meat every now and then, man. But once you get it, there's different ways of cooking it up, and it makes it a little bit better. It will. It will make it a little bit better.
So
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
yeah, but now she's definitely trying to look out for me. And we got Pop Culture Warrior in the building said, bye bye Bowie. Look, I'm on WTF Nation Radio. And by the way, watch Pop Culture Warrior
Baba Booey,
on
Howard Stern's
Tuesday.
penis.
It said, I bet you eat all the manly beef I learned from the best, CQ. You.
Oh dear God.
All right.
CQ is going to have his name speaking about in Dallas later on this week by me with a couple of people that he knows.
Oh,
Yeah, it will be
nice.
the fact that CQ lost fantasy football.
Yeah.
And I'll be wearing my trophy.
Yes,
We'll get
sir.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
No doubt. So this is the page here when you click the link to join the WTF Nation Radio 2025 Beat Coach Challenge. It should have been named Beat King because this is
It
how
ain't gonna
things
be
are going
you.
to go.
No. Ain't happening.
So we have three people that have joined now. Myself, USMC Doggy, which is my man David Cunningham, and and Coach. But
Yep.
again, free to join. Link is in the chat. So join and see if y'all can beat us. So I can come back and talk trash and tell Coach that he was second, like I told him he was going to be.
Ain't happening, buddy. Ain't gonna freaking happen at all. Trust me. Ain't happening at all.
All right, now let me do this. Let me swap back over to here. And we have one more chat and we're going to get into the show. Shout out to CC Smith. CC Smith said, "You can do it." You know what, mother? I thank you for the words of encouragement. I can do it. It's a process. And if I'll be honest, if it was left up to me, I ain't eating all this healthy crap. I'm just gonna be like, hey, look, you know what? God gave me a bad heart. It is what it is.
Hey,
That's how I'd be like, you know what? Hey, when it's my time, it's my time. But if this medium rare steak was the last thing I ate before I was taken up off this earth, then it was a good one.
dude, trust me, you're gonna be all right, man. Look, seasoning, and you're gonna find a way to make the things actually look a little bit better, or and taste a little bit better. It might also look a little bit better. It'll look better than it tastes. But nah, you'll be okay, man. You'll be
No
okay.
doubt. We've
Trust me.
got some live
You'll be
sports
all
going
right.
on now over in the NBA. The New York Knicks and the Miami Heat are tied 105 to 105 with under 30 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. It is halftime. Oh, sorry. Coach, go ahead.
Say, the San Antonio Spurs minus Wembayama, which man,
Yes.
that sucks. I really don't ever want to watch that freaking
I
team.
agree. I watched two games post his injury, and he's the draw, right? He's the big ticket, so to speak. And without him, they're just the San Antonio Spurs. Like I'm not gonna pay a
Yeah,
ticket to go. There's
yeah.
word on the street that Coach Popovic's done after this year. And I mean, the guy looks like he can barely walk some days, so maybe he should enjoy.
I mean, I can kind of get that. Remember, Popovich is the one who ran
Mm-hmm.
Rodman out of San Antonio. Okay, that's been out of San
It
Antonio.
looks like that Knicks game is going to go to overtime. We'll monitor that. The game coach was just talking about OKC San Antonio's halftime
Man,
77-72. The Spurs are up.
yeah. Even with SGA, nobody ever freaking watches this guy. This guy's could be the damn MVP of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he's speaking to the NBA. I did not realize this until about a couple days ago. But Nikola Jokic is now averaging a triple double. As many times it has ever happened in NBA history, happened with Big O and Russell Westbrook, both guards. There's never been in assists during the year. He didn't average a triple double. Jokic might be averaging a triple double this year and might not get.
I agree. I agree. Definitely, Jokic is going to end up being first round Hall of Fame already. He cemented himself. And when you think about that stat that you just said,
Yeah,
as a center, averaging a triple double is insane. But it also speaks to the way that the sport
yeah.
has changed in general overall.
That's true.
We
That's
have a
very
couple of
true.
finals today. The Pacers beat the Chicago Bulls 127 to 112. Cleveland went into overtime and ended up winning at home against Portland 133 to 129. And Boston, who had a ridiculous loss where they were up on Cleveland by like 23 points or so in the first quarter to taunt and wave bye bye, get them out of here at the end of the quarter. They end up losing that game against Cleveland. They won their game tonight, though, against Denver. 110 to 103. There are two remaining games as well tonight. You got Phoenix kicking off against the Timberwolves at 9:30 Eastern over on ESPN, and then the Battle of Los Angeles, the Clippers versus the Lakers. Two teams with pretty decent records over there in the West, kicking off at 9:30 as well.
Egg on Luka Doncic, I'm gonna say this, man, and this is surprising me. Him in the same way that he had with Dwayne Wade back in, and with Kyrie before Kyrie started believing in the flat Earth. And now I'm kind of noticing that there's been nights where LeBron is, kind of looking a hell of a lot more fresh ever since Luca's come back out there. It's just yet. But it is going to be interesting if they can create a little bit more chemistry to see how the
Did you
Lakers
think
are going to
that with the
perform
addition to
the rest
Luca
of the
that they would be
season.
playing the way that they were now? Because it to me it seemed like with two people that for their respective teams that they've been on, they've always been had a high on ball average. That I didn't see the assists still being the way that they were between the two, but they still facilitate the ball really well. I thought that down low they might
Well,
struggle, but they seem to enforce the paint defense pretty well.
I I kind of seeing them play live. Just from what I'm seeing and just from what I'm kind of picking up and reading about it, it it all right. Think about the great duos in NBA history. Okay, you know, Magic or Magic and Kareem, Mike the twos, but in those ways, there's always been somewhere where if Mike's having an off night, he has a good night, or if Kareem's not having a good night, Worthy kind of was the one, or Magic would be the one over in Miami, but it was really D Wade and LeBron that were carrying the offense. Same thing happened in 16 with Kyrie. LeBron's got somebody his caliber to it. Are they able to facilitate it? Yes, because I feel that LeBron pushes a little bit too much when he is the sole option, which he was with Anthony Davis in his limited modern offensive set that he's got. So I think it's freeing it up. It's able to create a little bit more maneuverability. So in that way, you have two people that can create passing lanes and create great cuts. So a little bit better as far as the ball movement. But at the same time, too, if somebody is not going that way, one can kind of counteract each other, kind of in the same way that if MJ, as great a defender he was, if somebody needed a lockdown, it would go right to Scottie Pippen or to freaking what's it called to Rodman if it was a big guy. They're going to play off each other's strengths, and they're seeing that their strengths complement each other. When their strengths are not at its best, it's going to be easier for them to focus on other parts of their offense.
Hey, I could hear everything that you just said. Other people are reporting that your voice is coming in distorted. Now, everything on my side looks good. You sound
Yeah,
normal to me, but I think maybe let's try doing this. Could you leave and join back, coach?
yeah. Give me
And
a minute.
yep, and we'll see if that fixes it. All
All
right.
right, not a problem.
So, coach is going to leave and come back. While he does that, a WNBA legend has retired after 20 years, all with the Phoenix Mercury. Diana Taurasi, and I always feel like I say her name wrong. Let me pause and let me get coach in. Coach, don't say anything yet. I gotta do some things here. I gotta do some things there. All right, coach, let the people know
Yo,
something.
what do you hear? What do you say? How am I coming in now?
All right, for those of y'all that let me know, Angie and CQ, thank you. Early reports are that you are coming in better now. All right,
Oh,
that's
okay,
awesome.
good. Good, thank you.
So I don't know if you heard Diana Taurasi um, called it after 20 years. She
Yes.
announced her retirement on February 25th to no fanfare whatsoever. And on one hand, I get it. There are several people that when they retire from the military, they just want to go out quiet. But on the other
Uh-huh.
hand, when you've put in enough time, or let's say you got injured and you got retired due to your injury from service, that deserves a little bit of fanfare. I think Diana is one of those people that, like how you've got Michael Jordan, right? Change the game, change the logo, things like that. I think for what she did and how she helped pioneer WNBA and women's sports, she deserves to have something that cements her legacy as one of the all-time greats in the WNBA.
Yeah, so when's Formula One starting again?
Oh, come on, coach.
Hey, look. Remember, I already have a bad history with one Yukon point guard. I don't want another bad history, I didn't want to concern myself with any other Yukon guards or any Yukon forwards that were there. But I will tell you, Diana was there from. Diana and Sue went to Yukon together. Diana was freaking phenomenal. Dagon, she was an Osko before an Osko. Okay.
Mhm.
In fact, I'm pretty sure an Osko knew her growing up, knew Diana, and modeled everything from that. So, yeah, she's got a lot of, and for crying out loud, if I'm right, 5-time Olympic gold medalist
Yes,
or
sir.
fourth time?
We had
Yeah,
talked about it 5 times.
5-time Olympic gold medalist. I mean, look, it's not what it used to be. Okay, at one point, having 2 Olympic gold medals made you freaking rare air. Uh, it's it's the WNBA, man. I mean, it is what it is. I don't even remember when freaking who are the other ones? See, I don't even remember anybody else who's retired. See,
Lisa
like
Leslie, Cheryl
yeah,
Miller.
I don't remember when they retired. I don't remember them getting anything. They might have gotten a blurb at the bottom of the banner on Sports Center or something like that, you know. But hey, look, you're in the WNBA. I mean, just saying. Formula One has probably got more viewers than you do. NASCAR, a frickin' sport where hemorrhoid cream probably sells more than your ticket sales. That they've got more viewers than you do. So no, you're the WNBA. You shouldn't be getting more fanfare.
King Smith has exited the chat. Bloop.
No, it's okay. Because you know why? Because once we talk about the WNBA, our listener count goes down, and then once we get off of it, it comes back up.
Yeah. Now I'm back, y'all. I'm back on the screen. Hey, coach, you might not have saw it. I took myself off the screen while you continued.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Yeah, go right ahead.
No,
Remember,
you have some people over on my Facebook page appreciating your humor.
uh,
So shout out to the people commenting on the actual
hell yeah.
King Smith's page. Now
Dear,
let's.
dear God, man. So wait a minute. We're on our page on the
Mm-hmm.
sports bar because I'm looking at the sports bar's chats. And then you're on your page, and we're also on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Kick. Right?
Yep.
Dear God, man, we're broadcasting everywhere, man.
Oh, we are on all the places except Kick. I couldn't recall my Kick login, so I said, "Well, we ain't doing that one tonight."
Man, you know what, dude? We gotta get. Well, we can't add the YouTube, can we? Like the old channel. Jesus, I don't even think we had that thing.
If you can convince our station manager to allow
Eh,
us to do it on Restream, then
nah, don't worry about it. Don't.
yeah,
We'll allow that. We'll allow everything else. We won't. Yeah, I don't want to add anything additional to ice.
no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah,
Well, congratulations to Diana on a successful 20-year career.
yeah.
What else is going on in the world of sports? Going back to the overtime game, the Knicks have taken the lead with a minute and 2 seconds left.
Outstanding.
It is 113 to 109.
Man, I wish they never broke up all the Nova Knicks, but I know that they had to, and I know Cat's been a great addition for him instead of Dagon, the jerk off that they had last year. I don't even remember his name. And God, forget. Thank God I forgot his name. But man, I don't know, man. The Knicks. I want the Knicks to get into a freaking final so damn bad because just New York sports feels so much better when the Knicks are at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I just don't see them getting out of anywhere out of the semifinals in the East. I don't even think they can make the Eastern Conference Finals this year. They're what 0-7 against like the best teams in the league right now, or 0-8, and they're like blowout losses too.
Wow. No,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. You got to go back. Like they're combined 0-6 against like OKC, Boston, Miami. It might not be Miami after tonight, but I forget who the other team, the top teams were. But I know it was around Boston, and then they got blown out by Boston.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go over to the NFL draft. So the NFL draft has occurred. There's been a couple of interesting
Or the
storylines that have
combine.
came out of that the combine. Thank you. What did I say? The draft.
You said the draft occurred. I'm like, Jesus, I'm not depressed now because the Jets screwed up on another draft pick. Come on.
Man, that is how much your boy needs some rest. After tonight's show, I am immediately going to bed. So let's bring this up here. These are
Red meat deficiency.
yes. I'm telling. See, that's how it starts. That's how it starts when you don't have a good medium well steak.
Oh,
Here's a
great. This
combined
is
look at some
this
of
is the
the.
way our show is going to be in 2 years. You're going to be dribbling over yourself like Joe Biden.
Oh, King Smith has exited the chat.
Oh, come on. He's not president anymore. He's free game.
This is true. Now, these are the looks of some young men that are looking at trying to change their lives at the NFL Combine, which some people akin to a slave meat market. You have young men vying for the likes of NFL general managers and coaches to improve their draft stock in the upcoming NFL draft. Now, the 40-yard dash are one of those perennial events that occur to where you can look at a candidate's speed to see how fast or slow they are. And if you take a look at some of the videos, which I can't display for copyright reasons, several of the big men, like the bigger athletes, the defensive linemen, are running sub 5 second 40-yard dashes. I think with the evolution of modern medicine and the way people are understanding genetics, you're going to have people specifically, oh man, breeding these young men and young women across various sports to get that competitive advantage and raise their family's value by producing athletes that are going to make a bunch of money playing professional sports. Never in the history of my lifetime did I think that, well, I didn't think that it would occur this fast that you're going to get more people over 300 pounds that can run a 40-yard dash in under 5 seconds. I don't think people realize how fast that is.
Yeah, and most people think that they can run sub 5, which they really can't. If you run sub 5, you are fast. Like you are definitely fast. Now, doing it at 300 pounds, yeah, that is pretty damn impressive. But I've got to tell you something, King, and I'm not too sure about where you're going with that breeding into the doing the other things, and I'm not going to get into an entire thing like Jimmy the Greek, where that happened well before I was born, and that started a slippery slope for him. But I kind of want to bring something up about an interesting video that I was watched the other night, and it was about the evolution of the athlete depending on like how long over time and certain sports and characteristics and etc. of how fast we can move, how fast we can make the human limit, and have all the human advantage versus having mechanical advantages to break records. Like here's the best one. You remember in 2008 or 2012, all those swimming records in the Olympics went down because they had that one suit, and then the suit was banned after the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of like that. They also had something else where there's been the 2 hour marathon barrier has been broken, but it was done by a set of Nike shoes that had like 70 centimeters of cushion. Okay, when you're like at the minimum supposed to at the maximum have like 40 or 50. So there's a human maximum that's been reached in several sports. One of them being the NBA, that you're really going to rarely see, any more of the human maximums unless you start getting 7 foot point guards. In the other sports, you're starting to seeing more of the human maximum, being taking more leaps to where it could be a lot bigger, where there's a lot more ground to make up from generations ago. The speed of the larger athlete is what has grown leaps and bounds over the past 20 years. The NFL linemen are a little bit bigger right now, maybe about 10 pounds bigger than they were 20 years ago, or maybe 5 pounds bigger than they were 20 years ago. But the speed of them has grown exponentially, because back in those days it was just the lineman had to take up the room, maneuver left to right, have some good mobility, and have, like what's his old boy from I'm not saying old boy is in a bad sense. In fact, let me think of a white guy, Tony Baselli from from Jacksonville. Okay, save my ass on that one. Okay, we're not going on that one. But like Tony Baselli, he had great lateral movement and he was able to fill up a spot.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have linemen like that are his size, but are also able to run the ball a little bit more further on down the field so that they can get a lead block in on that. And it's pretty good for them that they are able to do something like that. In the NFL, we're going to start seeing more and more of our human limits to go up. So to see them going to that, yes, I don't believe people are going to breed people to become their athletes, but there's another disturbing trend that it comes from, and that has to do with the focus of athletics going all the way from children to now, and
Speak on it.
it's intense focus right now. I've got a I've got a nephew who's going through that with baseball. I know people that have done that throughout basketball, other sports, swimming, etc. And I will tell you that the focus on the sports to make the children's the athletes so that they can get ahead in whatever BS competition it is the thing that's driving more of this freaking change than any type of selective breeding. it's like the places like IMG that have, preparatory schools in Florida where all they're focused on is their athleticism. There's people like Bryce Harper who, from the time that he got his GED and did a year in community college so that he can go in at 18 years old and, join the Major League Baseball. And that's the way that people have been with their children. And that's what's causing these leaps and bounds that are growing. The monetization of the athlete is what is actually drawing more of this human limit that we're getting at than selective breeding or anything like that. So I would actually say that is more of the driving force and also a necessary evil that's come into this world instead of mama and daddy are track athletes, let's have the fastest kids on the face of the earth. you
Did
know
you see popular streamer Kaisa Nat? He did a live stream in which he had a women's professional player, but she played professionally in Latvia in his bedroom, and they had some one-on-one time in which she just destroyed this dude. Now Kaisa Net's not that tall. He's like probably 5'5", and
okay.
I might be giving him an inch or two by saying that. And this lady, I didn't check out her stats, but she was definitely tall, and she made him look super bad. I wish I had that clip to be able to play it just now because it was hilarious.
In Latvia?
Yes, she was a
In
Latvian.
Latvia?
Lot.
Isn't that the country that dude from Taxi was from?
I don't know.
um, what's his name? What's his name's Oh god damn! Andy Kaufman's character on Taxi. I thought he was from Latvia. A Latvian women basketball player. Oh
Yes.
my goodness gracious!
Oh, here it is. I found it. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up. Bring it up on the screen here because it is that good. It is that
Oh
good.
dear God!
Let me see. I got it up here.
Latvian women's basketball. I mean, they probably have more paid attendance than the WNBA. There probably isn't much else better to do over in Latvia.
All right.
Let's
I don't
go
think y'all can
see a
hear the
women's
audio.
basketball game.
She didn't even do. She blocked the shot just by standing there. I don't think y'all can hear the audio, so this is good. I don't think I'll get copyright stricken. Right? She just blocked him. Who has a basketball hoop in their, like a hotel actually?
I mean, why not? Why not? But man, all right. I'm looking at this woman. All right.
Uh huh.
I mean, uh, giving him a couple inches. Are you sure that that's all that he's given or she's given? Just gonna say. I mean, is this isn't like she doesn't have like an NIL, does she? I'm just gonna yeah. So
You
anyway,
see, I think
but
there's one more clip here.
all right, I'm looking at the one. I'm looking at the one right there where she just dunked on his ass. He's got a Georgia. Man, the dude's got a Georgia Tech shirt on. You know damn well you're not going to go anywhere if you've got a Georgia Tech shirt on. Jesus Christ.
Uh,
Georgia Tech hasn't been good in basketball since Stephon Marbury left that team.
yep.
Yeah, that's how long. God, dear God, I'm not even going to get started with Stephon Marbury. That guy was the reason. It was one of the main reasons why the New York Knicks went down. But yeah.
Now the comment section, you can imagine on that video went wild.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me bring up.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a comment that I would have about it. I mean, normally this is how, like, the start of those videos on, that, freaking website goes. Um, the other places. Yeah. I have a feeling that, I mean, this dude also looks like Cersei Lannister against what was that dwarf's name whatever his name was in that show with the dragons
from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yes.
What was his name? Man, it's right.
Something Lannister. Something
Yeah,
Lannister.
he
Yeah,
was another
whichever one.
Lannister.
Yeah,
Yep.
the imp. Yeah, or whatever the hell his name was. Yeah.
So that lady in the clip was Digna Stratmain, 6'2" forward from Latvia. And the interesting part about it is nobody knew her name prior to that video.
Nobody did.
But she definitely got a lot of people.
She's now got 800,000 people on followers on Instagram.
Yeah, her Instagram shot up. There was somebody that talked about the Kai Cenat effect, and that certain people, especially certain demographics of people, that when they get on these streams, it can really boost your online presence up. And hers is currently. Let me see if I can find her real quick.
Oh
Digna
God.
Stratmain. There she is. She's got a blue check and everything. She's at 24.2K followers, and prior to being on Kais in that stream, she was under 20K. So she's gained 4K relatively
Okay.
quickly. Now she's not a, I wouldn't call her an active poster. Her last post on here was February 17, but she has an online presence. It is a mix of
I
basketball
mean,
and
what, yeah,
her life.
and what, and life in Latvia.
Oh, hold on.
Today, cow gave us milk.
Here we go. Let's bring this up.
Today, cow gave us leather for basketball.
Did it like why is this something that you would put where you're in heels with a basketball lean like this? Like what about this conveys sports?
In Latvia, we have to sell pussy in order to sell basketball tickets. Oh shit!
Hey, look at it. Fan of Tupac.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. We dribble basketball and then we pose in front of people to make us look like we have millions of dollars. No.
Hey, her form solid. Look at that. Bam. Look at that form. Just saying, coach.
I mean, yeah, that form's pretty good, but, all right, all right. I don't know. All right, hold on. Looks to me like she takes her left hand and she might use her thumb as a little bit of a lift point, and if she does that, then she is definitely wrong. But I am not here to judge, and I'll find that out later. Yeah.
No doubt. Now, going back to the NFL draft, real quick, have you heard of any news that have made you excited about any of the prospects or anybody that will be looking to go to your team in particular?
I heard rumors about Cam Ward being interviewed by the Jets, as well as Shador Sanders being interviewed by the Jets, and as who the hell's the other guy, the one who just won the Heisman? Whoever the hell the other one who just won the Heisman was, they were all interviewed by the Jets. The Jets are standing at 7. I doubt that they're going to make a move because they need as much help as humanly possible. And I severely doubt that any of those quarterbacks are going to get drafted after the Giants or after the freaking Raiders. So, no, I have nothing exciting because there is for draft day miracle where the Jets get my hopes up again on draft day that they're going to sign somebody that they're going to end up drafting somebody who's going to change the franchise around. And then 3 years later, after I've already bought their jersey, I'm going to end up trying to burn it because it's already on the fucking clearance rack. So let's just say this. No, I have not heard anything good news whatsoever about my teams, but I have heard that Mr. Shador Sanders is skipping out on the combine, and there it could be a issue with what's his name who just won the Heisman,
Travis
where
Hunter.
Travis Hunter, where I believe he might be having an injury.
Oh, I haven't heard any of the injury news.
I
So,
believe something
wow.
was up with Hunter. Let me just double check it. Let me double
Okay.
check it. It might have been Cam Ward, but let me just check Travis Hunter. News. Let's see. No, it wasn't nothing about Travis Hunter. It might have been Cam Ward that I was thinking of.
All right. The latest mock draft
Yeah.
has the Giants um, moving up and taking Cam Ward at
Yeah.
quarterback.
And I mean, I can understand their reasoning for doing that at 3. Tennessee needs a quarterback as well, but I don't think they're going to stick with Levis again anymore. And I don't know if they're going to sign somebody as a stopgap, even though I do think a stopgap quarterback might actually work out better for Tennessee and get a better quarterback next year. That being said, I really don't think that there's going to be a QB going. If you want Cam Ward over Shador, then take Cam Ward and move up to that number 1 pick. Because I don't think Cam Ward will drop all the way down to 3. You can get Shador at 3, but that's coming up onto the questions of now. Why is Shador dropping all the way down to 6 to fucking
The
what's his name,
Raiders.
to the Raiders?
Yes. Hey, that's
I mean,
how that's going to go down.
yeah,
That
I
is going to
know,
be
and the
prime money
sad thing
making.
is, yeah, that's going to be prime money making, and that's going to be no Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
hey,
it's going to be a fucking debacle, and I'm going to love it.
let's play the what if game. What if Shador does come in? I don't think he does it year one, but he
No,
silences some of the doubters and produces a winning team.
nah,
Yeah.
no,
You didn't even hesitate. You were just like,
no,
nah.
no.
This year's different in that besides Cam Ward and Sanders, there aren't any other predicted quarterbacks going in the first round. The quarterback draft class this year was mild at best.
Yes, yeah.
I'm curious to know where Ashton Genty is going to land. Right now, he's predicted to go at 8 to the Cowboys. And these are some of the early mock predictions, but around this time, right before the draft, or when you can kind of get a solid idea of how teams are looking.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything. I'll do a little bit of research before the next time we go because I'm looking at like I said, I'm not looking at really good prospects. I mean, I really don't want to look at something that would depress me. If I did want to look at something that would depress me instead of looking at the New York Jets, you know what I'd be reading?
What's that?
The WNBA page on ESPN.
Wow. The New York Knicks did pull off the win in overtime,
All
beating the
right.
Miami Heat 116 to 112. There's college hoops going on right now, but we're not going to get into that as March Madness is going to give us plenty to talk about for college hoops. In the NCAA women's, teams won, team lost. We're going to skip that.
Mhm.
Over at NHL, what is the Wayne Gretzky record at now? Let's look.
I
I
believe
don't have this pulled up.
Ovi's 10 away,
10
if I'm
away.
correct.
Let's see. As of 10 hours ago, Ovechkin scores his 884th goal, moves 10 back from tying
Yep.
Wayne Gretzky's career record.
Yep. So, might get it by the end of this year.
Uh,
Might get it.
you
And he says he's motivated to do it, so I don't know.
do you want to know who's happy in this besides Ovechkin and his camp?
Who's that?
People that have Ovechkin trading cards. On the trading card market, Ovechkin cards are starting to heat up. And I saw something here where
Ah.
I'm gonna see if I can find uh, the trading record. I saw one where there's a card that's out there that's going for like well over like 300,000 trading card values.
You are kidding me. Wow. I did not know. I did not know freaking what's it called? I did not know that they had, well, I knew they had them, but I did not know that one of those cards would be going for there. Let me ask you the question. Oh wait a minute, hold on. I can go back to the games again. Ovechkin. Stats. Yeah, I'm looking up his stats right now, just because I'm still looking up the games thing because Ovi has. Damn it! How many total games has he got? Come on, he's got 1740, and what was it? 17. It was 1470 for Ovi. Gretzky games played.
I forget off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know. I am. I'm trying to figure. Yeah. All right. Well, somebody already Googled in Gretzky versus Ovechkin stats head to head, so I do have the games played together. All right. So, Oh, okay. Never. Oh, now I know why they're showing his freaking stupid stats from other places. I need NHL comparison. I don't need fucking. They got Wayne Gretzky's minor league career in here versus Gretzky Ovi. So Ovi's got 17 games to get 10 more goals. Still in my mind, if he gets 17 more games and 10 more goals, he's still the greatest goal scorer ever. And if not, ever. Just saying. Just saying. But Ovi is doing something that Gretzky didn't do. Gretzky in his last year was not, but he led the league in assists. So, you know, Ovi is, he had to hit 40, and I don't know, man. It looks like he might actually do it.
Nice. Now, there are some. If you look
Yeah.
at the secondary market, you have to exclude some of the cards because some of these are wildly overlisted or whatnot. But there's one here that
Yeah.
has one bid on it. That was bid for 185,000.
Okay.
That is insane for a signed rookie, graded 9 Ovechkin card.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, buddy. Good for you. But hey, Ovi, it's going to be nice to see it, man. 17 more games and beat that record. And, actually, I do kind of. Ah, we're seeing LeBron now and Ovi. I mean, the assist something. What is more impressive to you? Is it the longevity of a career record going down? Is it a single game record going down? Which do you think is more impressive?
Out of
Which
those
do
three
you prefer
listed,
more,
give me the
actually?
single game record. That to me is the most impressive.
Okay, the single game record. So right now, scoring average or 100-point game.
See, hold
No,
on,
no,
hold on.
no, no,
I
no.
answered my
I'm giving
question
you. Yeah.
knowing that it
Let's
might go
hear.
there. But my answer doesn't
Good,
change. Yes. In that scenario.
good. The 100 points in a game is a freaking tremendous mark.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what era that was ever in. So 700.
Four homers in the game.
See, yeah, I kind of like that too. Only 13 people have done that. Barry Bonds did steroids. But NFL for me has to go with season stats. I'm not too big on the single game stats for, like, a player, even though season stats and the career stats nobody freaking remembers. Like, nobody. Like, is it still Drew Brees, or is it Tom Brady, or is it Peyton Manning or Brett Favre passing records now?
I couldn't tell off the
Nobody
top of my head.
fucking
Yeah.
knows. You know, everybody knows Emmett, still holds the rushing, fucking all time Emmett Smith has for his career. No. Nobody knows how many 18,000 some odd yards he's got. Nobody knows Jerry Rice or anybody like that, but they know 20 or 31 touchdowns by LT. They know 50 touchdowns or 50 yards or something like that as those types of milestones. That's where I kind of go that NFL season wise. The career ones. See
Hmm.
where I'm getting at? Yeah. Like you don't celebrate somebody going over 10,000 yards, but you
No doubt.
celebrate some everybody. Yeah, what was now I'm gonna say, yeah, definitely not call him the old boy Chris Johnson from East Carolina. 2,000-yard season. Everybody remembers Davis, even though he's won MVPs and Super Bowls and had a 2,000-yard season, less than 10,000 yards. Frank Gore is the second leading rusher, 2,000-yard season. He's had plenty of
People
1,000-yard
forget about Frank
seasons.
Gore. Finish your thought because I have to come back to
Yeah.
something about Frank Gore.
No, but we're on take solace into that. And there's a different things as far as what happens with these numbers. For me, I believe it's some numbers. Certain ones have longevity numbers. Now, the longevity numbers in baseball are obviously tainted, and not to get Pete Rose, not going to do a damn thing to get him into the Hall of Fame or not, because baseball has nothing to do by the government. Thank you to the amnesty. But that being said, the home run record tainted by Barry Bonds. The hits record tainted by that. The freaking that's okay. But like the wins records are so daggone far off away that it's 200 years old down in another era where Oil King Latrell were the freaking great, were the hitters over there, along with Gaslight, three-toed Homer. Those were the best players around that time of the wins for baseball for pitchers. King, please tell me you've got the time, because I still have more
I
shit
do.
that I can just ramble on to and make
Yeah.
no sense. Okay, you're good. Anyway, some certain sports.
Frank Gore. Frank Gore is 41 years old. His professional boxing career, he is officially 2-0. He did lose one, but it wasn't a pro boxing match that he lost by decision. But in his two pro matches, there's a video circulating of the two matches that Frank Gore fought in where he was approaching 40 years old, as his last fights were in May of 2022 and December of 2022, in which he scored two knockouts, both of them pretty damn vicious. And I'm like, that guy right there is the definition of peak physical, like, athlete. You know what's that?
Man, and got this, man. He was the tail end of the Hughes revival back there in the 2000s because in the game against what's it called? The game against Ohio State. You know who I'm
Mm-mm.
talking about, right? Okay, I can't remember who the running. It might have been Travis Henry. Everybody knew Travis Henry and they were scared of him was because Frank Gore got freaking injured, and Frank Gore was supposed to be the starting running back that year. Lead them to the national championship, not Travis Henry that year. Frank Gore ended up going out the year afterwards, and that's when everybody ended up leaving. He obviously left, and as well as a couple other players. And then Frank Gore had the team after they started to get
I lost
old.
you, coach. Hold up. Coach, if you can hear me. All right. Coach was cooking, giving us some sports history lesson on the University of Miami, but his audio is not coming through. So I'm going to fill some time here. Let me come into the comment section, see if we have any additional comments before I continue. All right, he's off the screen. I think he is restarting some things over on his side. So while he does, let me go check here. David Cunningham, my bad, my man. I didn't see that you were commenting over at the Sports Bars Facebook page. Let's see. Who started the QB trade rumors for Matthew Stafford going to the Giants? The Rams ended up re signing him on Saturday. They absolutely did. Coach is back. Let me.
That was on me, man. I was screwing around with my cord in front of me, and I forgot the connector hooked up to my freaking headset. And I'm
It's a
like, oh
very army
shit,
thing
I
to do,
just
coach.
pulled my. Yeah, completely.
So you were talking about the Miami Hurricanes and everybody that left.
Anyway, Frank Gore got stuck over at Miami as the investigations and all the suspension and NCAA sanctions. Right as Frank Gore was leaving, so Frank Gore is the last remnant of the U's revival in the early 2000s.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
You there? Oh, okay. Yeah, from the U that was anywhere near the NFL. Frank Gore was the last like
Yeah,
flag
hey, look,
bearer
they
from the
had their
U.
dominance back then.
You
I have a
know,
really good friend of mine, the U.S. Air Force veteran. He's from Miami and everything, and you can't tell him nothing about that dominance that they had then. But that was then.
but you know what? But it was short lived too, man. It really was short. Good year. They then won the national championship. They lost a ton of players, and then they had a shit ton back. And then after
So
it was the national championship game against Ohio State when they had Maurice Claret.
now I wanted to bring up something, and I'm gonna scroll back here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Let me see how far can I go back. Their years of dominance.
Yo, actually not going to cover this shit, but it also
Okay.
is sports. So I am reading this off of a hip hop website. They have officially reunited, putting years of internal conflicts behind them. After a long journey filled with solo ventures and creative differences, the legendary rap group is back. Always in the cards, but according to Crazy Bone, one expected figure
Jay
helped to
Z.
speed up the process. Former UFC champion Conor,
What?
yeah, apparently McGregor had been interested in working Bugs in Harmony since 2024, and after making an offer, the group officially signed with Green back in 2020. the interest that he wanted to work with them. And they signed the deal, but the holidays and rescheduled showed up the first 2 months of 2025 was going to do this. They said, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do the album because this is going to be the first time that we've done something in film even without Conor McGregor anyway.
Well, okay. When you started talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony, I was like, how does this have a sports reference to it? Huh.
Yeah. Frickin' Dennis Rodman going to Korea.
Interesting. And you know what? I'm here for it, especially since was it Crazy Bone that had a he almost died for
Yeah, it was Crazy Bone. Yeah.
yeah, it was maybe last year or the year prior to that. I know he had an issue where he almost went to the upper room. So, interesting. He was also always my favorite Bone Thugs and
Yeah.
Harmony rapper as well. I just like his style and his flow. Followed by Busy Bone.
Oh, yeah. Man, I honestly, I kind of lost track of
Um,
them.
so my friend who's a Miami Hurricanes fan, uh, they were relevant. You could say late '90s and a couple of years into the early 2000s. They won their national championship year 2001, which was
Yeah.
coincidentally my final year of playing varsity football in high school as well, as I was a graduate class of 2002, and the Hurricanes hype, in my opinion, and it's so easy to see this now that I'm older, came at that end of the Uncle Luke party era where, it was all about the hype and the fun and the rap videos and things. Yes, yes,
Man,
I
you did
did.
not
They
just.
were able to get some recruits during that time
Oh,
span
hell, I haven't heard that name
by
in
throwing the parties,
forever.
getting the athletes to come out there during their visit. So their run came from
Oh,
that time. So you were right. It was very short lived. They had the late '90s and a couple of years into the early 2000s in which they did good. And after I'm looking at the records here,
back in Ohio State, and I can't remember what year of the BCS it was or whatever bullshit that came out. But that game was supposed to be the game of the freshman of the year, and Miami had NFL talent after NFL talent, and then freaking like I said, what's his name? ACL and a freaking horrific injury during the game, and
yep.
Ohio State ended up
Now I got
winning
one
the
more
damn
thing to close
thing.
out, and then we're going to get to the sneaker part of the show. The
Oh
49ers have
yeah.
agreed to send standout wide receiver Debo Samuels to the Washington Commanders in exchange for a fifth round pick, as reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter on Saturday night. Like any trade agreement, the deal can't be processed until the NFL league year officially begins on March the 12th. As part of the trade, Washington is sending Samuels over there, and the Commanders are going to pay his full $17.55 million salary for the 2025 season. What do you think that this does for the Commanders' offense? Does it give Jaden Daniels an additional weapon? And who won in this trade?
Daniels. Great piece for Jaden Daniels. Um, Look, San Francisco right now, I think, is now about to realize that they're going to be rebuilding, and maybe, all of the contracts that were coming up are now going to start ruin itself when you're going to end up re-signing freaking old the dag blame it, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's now you're going to be your quarterback. You're going to be stuck with him for better or for worse. So at this point, I think you need to start looking for a little bit of a rebuild. A fifth round draft pick when 2 years ago you could have gotten Debo Samuel for a first or a second round right before the NFL draft. Just remember that. The New York Jets, 2 years ago, this is when at the height of trying to get freaking Aaron Rodgers was in talks to get Deebo Samuel and was going to trade either a second round or possibly a first in a future draft to try to pick up Deebo Samuel. And now you get him for a fifth round pick and two quasi productive years, because I think if I'm remembering last year he was, or not last year, 2 years ago he was productive, but he was often a little bit banged up. At least I remember that being that way when I had a real shitty freaking fantasy team and he was on it. And then this past season has just been, San Fran took a big step back, and San Fran, I think, is going to have to take a little bit more of a step back in order to get themselves back up to the Super Bowl caliber that they were with Purdy in his rookie year. So Jaden Daniels now gets a outstanding weapon for him to utilize. I kind of correlate this not in the same sense, but hopefully with the same productivity that Tua had when Tariq Hill got traded over to Miami. So I think Debo will be. They're going to create some type of magic over there, and I think the offense is definitely going to be. Uh, well, it's going to be a little bit more featured on Debo, but I think Jaden Daniels has got himself a good target now, and as a young quarterback to have a great target like that, it's always a plus for you, no matter which way you cut it.
No doubt. Now, one final reminder for tonight's stream: we are having a March Madness 2025 fantasy football tournament here where
Fantasy
y'all are.
football.
Did I say fantasy football? This is what happens when you don't eat
Where?
steak. Fantasy basketball, a March Madness tournament. Free to enter, $50 on the line for the winner.
Yep.
Join. The link is in the description.
And
Um,
look, I do want to pay somebody, but
you'll be paying me, coach.
I wouldn't be paying myself.
You'll be
That's what's
paying
going to
me.
happen.
That $50 is coming
Eh,
to me.
ah,
We have a comment here. I want to acknowledge the comment over on the
yeah,
sports bar. David Cunningham said the University of Miami football team has been relevant in recent years through the coaching of Manny Diaz and Mario Cristobal. The Hurricanes have
yes.
also had notable success in the past, including 5 national championships in the 80s and 2001.
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about, the 2001. And then, like I said, it was the resurgence of the U, because the original U happened with Jimmy Johnson and frickin' Michael Irvin and Vinny Testaverde and Bernie Kosar. That's the ones. That's the one that, also got that nice little Hail Mary that happened to them with Doug Flutie and Gerard Phelan. I still will tell that story of my aunt being there at that game.
Nice.
Yep. But no, he is correct about that. And then, you know what? Around that same time that the U has become relevant, you know what else started becoming relevant? NIL deals. Go figure. The U on top of NIL deals and becoming relevant once they can pay their athletes again.
Mm-hmm.
Once they can
What's
pay their athletes legally, the U's
legally?
back, baby.
Now, he also added, speaking of Debo Samuels, that Debo will make the Commanders a Super Bowl contender. Now the
I
Cowboys
mean,
will not have a chance of winning their conference.
well, I mean, they didn't. Well, I mean, for crying out loud, they're the Cowboys. They're not going to have a chance. Period. The Giants have a better chance, and they're the Giants. Um, but Super Bowl contender, it's not that far off. I mean, they got to the first. Well, yeah, the first round this year, right? They didn't win their game, did they?
They, ooh, man, my memory's trash tonight.
Yeah, my memory's trash today, but they did make it into the playoffs. And if they did win, still you're getting into the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. I mean, Super Bowl contender, championship game contender, possibly.
Hmm.
and anything's up for grabs. Do I think that they're going to be beating Philly? Well, let's see what Philly does in this offseason.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, tell us about
Ah,
your journey into sneakers.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you had watched any of the other shows over on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, specifically the Sports Bar on Wednesday, or excuse me, the Smoke Pit on Wednesday night, a couple weeks ago, I went on there and I showed Radar my little hobby that I have that I was doing of restoring Jordans. So, as I have graciously said several times, I did beat good old CQ in the finals for the 2024 WTF Nation Radio Fantasy Football League. In fact, I fucking blew him out of the water. I think it was done on the first day.
Yes,
In
you
the words of
did.
our president, he was beaten badly. He was beaten like a dog. He was killed like a dog. He was crying at the end. Yes, just crying, beaten. I destroyed him. Okay, and thank you very much, Lamar Jackson, and I forget who the hell else had a career day on that first week, but I said that I was going to. I told King, and he did get this for me, but he also got me some additional stuff, and I appreciate that. He didn't have to do it in full, but I told King that what I wanted for the trophy was I was going to buy a ugliest set of Air Jordans that I could find, and I was going to restore them. I was going to do it on air, but I didn't get it on time to do it on what's it called show on a radar show.
Hmm.
But I did get them shortly after. And I sent you now. I don't know which shoes do you got lined up already right now to show them which ones I got. I'm a little delayed because I can't see the screen. So
I have
I've got
the
the screen up. But which one do you have up?
I have the orange and white ones up.
All right, is that now? Is that like just one of the pictures, or is that like the before picture from when I got them?
I am about to display the before picture.
Yeah.
That so it's going to go in order from dirty to clean.
All right, let's go for the dirtiest because this is how I found these shoes, man. And I kid you not, when I found them, I put a bid in. Like the guy wanted like freaking $30 for them, and I think I put like 25 or 20 or 25 in or something. And
Hmm.
I think I told you, King, that I wanted to freaking put like I think I could have put $10 in and this freaking thing would have been gone. But yes, you can see how disgustingly orange and white and creamsicle freaking ugly ass Air Jordans these are. Who in their right mind likes Baltimore Oriole orange?
It's a
Well, I do
creamsicle
know.
orange.
Well, I'm going to say this. There is somebody that I know that actually does like this type of orange.
Hmm.
It's my director, who I'm going to be seeing tomorrow over in Dallas. CQ also knows my director, and my director knows CQ. So look, when I brag that I got these off of beating you on freaking fantasy football, CQ, you are going to be brought up to my director. And yes, so that is what these shoes looked like. Now there is some bits off of that little piping on the edge that are plastic that they're broken off. There's nothing I can freaking do whatsoever about it. And I will tell you that looking at the shoe, I may have to actually do a repaint if I really, really want to get this thing completely restored
Hmm.
because just the cleaning itself, that's leading. There's a little bit of leather color runoff that came out, but that's something to be said. Now, the shoe that you're looking at right there, that orange, That orange is a different leather. It is an actual patent leather, man. It's not the regular, sneaker leather that you see on the feet. That this is patent leather. This is that shiny freaking core frame shit, but it's freaking orange patent leather. And as you can see, scuffed up to no end whatsoever, man. You see how many scuffs are on that freaking thing? And that's a disgusting orange, man. That looks like it was stuck inside the freaking underneath the ground, man. So I'm kind of happy that this was the extent of the shoes that I got, man, because they're right up my alley in order to go ahead and clean those up. Because if I'm going to get them on a cheap, I might as well go ahead and get something that fits either an outfit or does something that I might be able to enjoy myself with. So,
Okay.
all right.
Now,
So,
this
yeah,
is the
let's look at the
last
next
dirty
picture.
picture. Actually,
All
no,
right.
there's one more.
Oh, you got one more? Which
Yep.
one is this one?
This one's
Let me
like the side profile. I'm zooming
Yeah, it's
in on
coming
the
up.
front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some scuffs on that side profile that I thought I could clean out, and you really can't see it right now. But
Oh.
oh, wait a minute, you've got the one toe cap up right there, and I looked at you're zooming in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I said, I'm a little bit behind. Yeah, that freaking that looked like I think that was like an oil drop or something like that that was up there. Okay, now yeah, I think that was an oil drop that was on there, and those scuff marks that were down there on the bottom, man, those were a pain in the ass. But luckily enough, there were some things there. There were also some gouges that I couldn't get out. You might see them in the other pictures, but there were gouges on and cracks in the sides of the leather on certain places. There was no way of not getting those not cracked. So it was already cracked to begin with. I might just have to do something a little bit later on with like some leather filler, or I might just sell these freaking shoes, or I might just, I don't know, wear them as beaters or something and figure something out. But I'll tell you, they fit freaking great. They're kind of nice. But yes, this is after the first steam cleaning that I did.
Okay.
Took the laces out. On this one, and you really can't see the tongue really doesn't do justice. All I did is I just took my Bissell Steam Shot cleaner with the scrubbing attachment. I went over each section with the steam cleaner and just straight hot steam clean. And as you can see, with just the steam clean, this is how I was able to get it. That's off of the picture right there. I steam cleaned the heck out of it. Um, you could see like right there on the corner on the right, there's a. It looks like there's a gash, and that is a gash mark from where the leather is cut. And the one on the left, you see one right there by the mid toe. It looks it's a little bit behind the shadow, but that's the other cuts that I got right there. No, 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 down further by the toe, buddy.
Oh, down by the toe.
Yeah, down by the toe, on the patent leather on the toe. Now, don't worry about it. Go to the next picture, and I think you might be able to see it a little bit better.
I didn't get all of them. I didn't get all of
Okay.
them. I
Oh
want
no,
the
no, no. You're good. You're
yeah.
good.
So, oh, so I'm on the side profile down in the orange on the leather.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yep.
see that there? Yeah, that side profile pic that you just had right there. That's that gash right there. That's the one that I was just showing right there on the little toe box. But man, you see the difference between a freaking, a dirty sneaker and a clean sneaker of how much better it looks just off of a difference of like, and that literally took me 10 minutes on the shoe with the steam cleaner. That's it. Yeah.
Is is that steam cleaner portable or is it like big?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a handheld steam. It's the Bissell Steam Shot. This thing is a handheld one, but it's also got one of those attachments that does like a flexible hose where you can have it like a foot or ahead of you, and you're kind of utilizing it as like a little hose off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I use both methods. I prefer it with the hose and just kind of keeping the steam thing going. I also use a little mini clamp to hold down the button and kind of keep the steam going for an extended period of time. And it's easier for me to use it that way, and I'm able to use two hands instead of just one hand to control the what I'm cleaning as well as the nozzle.
That's what she said. Do you know what
Yeah.
version of these Air Jordans these are and when
Yeah,
these came out?
these are the Air Jordan 1 high turf, or they're mids, but I believe they're called high turf orange or turf orange or something like that, but
Hmm.
that's what these are called. So these came out in 2021. I have no idea what the story is behind these ones. I just know like I said, they're called turf orange, and they're a mid. So and the way you can tell the mids, it's very simple. Um, every Air Jordan, and we're looking at that side view right now. Every Air Jordan will have the first, or Air Jordan 1 will have those first six eyelids. If you have a middle eyelid between those top two, that will be a high. So if you're looking at it and just count as the eight eyelids, yeah, you're looking at a mid.
I never knew that.
If you see a ninth eyelid, that will be your high tops. But yeah, this is a mid. Not a lot of people like mids. People always like highs because that's the original cut. But these ones are essentially just to, match a style or match an outfit, because who in the fuck would want to wear orange sneakers? Well, I have an orange shirt, and I have two orange shirts that match these that go with my work outfits. So I am by all means wearing these orange shirts or orange sneakers.
No doubt. Now the next photo here, I think this is still part of that first
Yeah.
process right here
Okay.
where you've got the tongues out and more
Yeah.
displayed.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that one, the tongues, I had to go back and get the tongues a little bit cleaner because inside there you can see it's a different material. It's like well, I don't know what the hell you call it. Just regular kind of like old mesh material. But I went back in with the steam cleaner again off of that because it was still leaving a little brown kind of residue on the top of it. So I steam cleaned that off, and what I ended up doing is taking a damp towel and kind of squeegeeing the whole thing out from the inside of those tongues.
Okay.
And yeah, it turned it from where it was black on several of the sides, like the one on the left of the picture. You can see there's a little rip down on the a little on the inside of the shoe. That area was still brown, and it was still brown on the other area. So that's what I ended up getting out of it. It looks a hell of a lot better than what it did before,
Got
when
you.
I pulled them off, man, like there were, you could see the brown spots that were like embedded, and when I took the laces out, you could see where the laces moved them away.
All right.
There's that second cut that I was talking about right there on that heel. That one's the second one that came up on the Jordans when I ended up cleaning it.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
N-
So that was something that wasn't going to come up, and as you can see underneath the swoosh too, there's like it looks like it was gouged. I can that was something I could not take care of on cleaning, so that's going to be something I'll end up either painting or trying to see what I can do there. And then on the interior on both of the shoes, that crack showed up right there on the toe. That's a normal wear and tear type of crack that will end up showing up there. In fact, the other one is kind of on both of the shoes. They're kind of in a straight line according to somebody's toe box. So that just tells me that's a crease. That wasn't any type of gouging, and it may be fixable with some leather filler or something like that.
Have you seen the people that wear their shoes but they walk in a manner that they don't crease them? Oh,
Yeah,
that,
and I
that
think
was the
that those
final
people
photo.
those people are knuckleheads. Yeah.
So when it comes to these shoes, right? You're
Yeah.
not a collector of shoes, are you?
Well,
Oh,
kind of.
kind of. Okay.
Kind of. All right. So, I am a collector of them. What I am collecting now, when I got started, it was I would want to match them to whatever outfit that I had or whatever I could use it with work. And then as my son and I started getting a little bit more into the ones that he was wanting, I started looking at ones that I could restore, but would also match my outfit. So I started building up a little bit of a base from there. But then when I got a good enough base, I started going after the ones that I really wanted.
Hmm.
And I've got three that I did want. One of them was one that I did buy, and that was before I really started collecting, and that was the Air Jordan 3 white cement. That one I bought direct day of as it came out. That's the one that that Michael took off on the foul line for. That everybody sees in the freaking iconic photos of him. That's that shoe. The other shoes are the Air Jordan 11 Concords, which I still haven't gotten yet. The Air Jordan 12s, which I did just, and I think I showed them off, but no, I didn't I didn't show them off on the show, but I mentioned that I was going to put them into my ice box while I go to Dallas, and they're in my ice box right now to get their soles taken care of and hopefully get some UV cleaning on it. And then we will have that's another one. I have a pair of 13 playoffs. Those are the ones that he wore all the way through them. I'm trying to get the ones that he actually wore. So there's certain ones that I do want. There are ones that I am going to start collecting that are the ones that he wore, but it's not going to be ones that I collect and I'm just not going to wear them. I'm going to fucking wear them. You
Okay.
got to wear 'em. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Coach, speaking of wearing shoes,
Yep.
you sent one final photo that came out
Yep.
today. Am I cleared to post that one?
Go ahead, buddy. Yep.
All right. So if y'all wanted to see Coach's pasty white ass legs, there they
There
are
they
right
are.
there, wearing the shoes, got them laced up with the Yankees octagon sign in the background. Who's that
Yeah.
figurine that's sitting up there? Uh
Oh, that's Roddy Piper, man.
no doubt,
That's
man.
Roddy Piper.
I didn't even notice that until just now. But this is
Yeah.
the final product
So
here.
yeah, this is them on my feet right now. I'm gonna wear them tomorrow over into Dallas onto the airport, and these are the ones that I figured why not? I'll go ahead and I'll freaking wear them and show them off. I mean, look, I'm already going through freaking TSA. I might as well, take off shoes that are just going to make it look like, clown shoes anyway. So I'm going to make a statement through TSA and I'm just going to go through with orange shoes tomorrow.
Coach, I'm rolling up my sleeves here. We are at of age that we are clear people going for it. King Smith ain't taking off his shoes if I don't have to,
Man,
because I'm
I
going through
am.
that clear line.
You
Bump
know
that.
what? I don't care. At most I fly. Last year I did not fly at all. Yeah, I am right. Okay, I didn't. I flew. I'm going to fly twice this year. I am not planning on flying, period, anywhere else I go.
Hmm.
Like, if I'm going to fucking Jacksonville, I'm freaking driving down there 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to New Jersey, I'm driving. I hate my airport and the airports that are near me or the ones that we have to connect to out of my airport in Fayetteville suck ass.
All right.
Okay, that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
If I lived closer to frickin' Raleigh Durham, I might not have a problem. Actually, I might because that airport's a little bit too damn big, or it's just enough size, but it's just inconvenient enough. I fucking hate the flying out of Fayetteville, and I hate flying out of Raleigh from Fayetteville because I hate the drive up there and the fucking 2 hours I got to stay up there. And somebody's got to take off of work to get there. That's why I fucking hate flying. I'd rather
Yeah.
just drive. Give me a fucking car. Let me drive there. I can listen to the radio. I can piss in a bottle. I can fucking flip off several other people. I could probably, freaking fart and nearly crap myself at my own heart's content, and I'll be okay with it because I wouldn't be surrounded by a bunch of people in a fucking tube. And why are people always telling you to get on the plane? I'd rather get in the plane.
Ooh. I'm gonna
Just
ask.
saying.
I'm gonna ask my lady that one because she's a stickler for words. She say word choice matters. Get on the plane versus get in the plane.
Well, here's another thing. Why are they asking somebody to pre-board? What the hell's up with the pre thing? Why do we need to get on? Do we need to get on before we get on? There's no pre-boarding process. You're either boarding or not boarding. There is no pre-board. We'd like to pre-board anybody who's got a fucking medical, device shoved up their asshole. Well, no. You're not pre-boarding. You would like to board anybody who's got a medical device shoved up their asshole. Okay? You're not pre-boarding anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard it here. Coach does not like flying.
Airlines.
Now, let's go and take a look at the comments. David Cunningham, we are awaiting your words as we're about to close out our show. He said, those sneakers look like a 50-50 bar. What's a 50-50 bar? Is that a candy
I
or
got
something?
no idea what the hell a 50-50 bar is.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
I've
see if I
never
can look
heard of
this
that.
up. 50-50 bar.
Man, I've never.
Oh, like the a creamsicle about
Oh
a
yeah.
creamsicle. Yeah, I've never heard it referred to as a 50-50 bar.
Neither have I. But yeah, creamsicle. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Interesting. Let me see if I can
Yep.
bring this up on the screen here. Yeah, I looked up 50-50 bar. I was like, I've never heard it said that way before, but that is exactly how the internet is referring to it as a 50-50 bar. Um, let's see. He also had another comment. Let me go bring it up here. He said, Coach, you can find more Jordans tied together hanging over electric wires in the Bronx. Indeed, you can.
Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely can.
All right. And then the final thing he said before we get to our sign off message that he gives us, he said, good idea, Coach, for driving. Most of the FAA personnel have been fired. Safe travels.
Good freaking point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. With the way everything's going right now, that's God Almighty.
Hey, I
Yeah, but
100% agree with you.
yeah.
The last flight I had I had several flights between October and January, and I haven't been on a plane since. And the next time I'm scheduled to get on the plane is international travel this summer. I think I've shared it publicly, so I don't mind sharing it here. Going to Japan. Me, my daughter, and my lady, we're all gonna go to
Hell
Japan.
yeah.
I lived in Okinawa for several years, had several trips to mainland as well. But we're going as a graduation gift to my daughter, and it'll be my first time back over there since 2009. So I'm looking forward to it. And whatever issues these planes have been having need to get fixed by then. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, I agree with you on that, buddy. I definitely agree with you with that thing, man. Because fuck, I hate flying. I
No
fucking
doubt.
hate it.
Let's see.
Hey,
All right.
hey.
Oh,
So King,
yes.
are we good to kind of make this coaches kicks thing a weekly segment
Yeah, if
at
you've
least
got
until
stuff,
football season?
yep. Now that I've got the framework set up for it and I'm learning some things on how to display it a little bit better because I want to be able to punch it a bit, right? Be able to have it where it transitions and stuff a lot
Yeah.
nicer. Yeah, we could definitely have that.
All
Bring our
right. All
sneakerheads
right.
in.
So I have a couple pairs that are on my shelf right now that are getting worked on. I have several pairs I can show off that are not a problem there. But what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm headed to Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have several pairs that I just restored that are getting taken care of, including this orange pair is going down there this week. There's another pair that I didn't give an update on. But what I will do is that if I pick up a pair in Dallas, I will show that one off. If not, I'm going to show the ones off that I restored that I told Radar that I was going to show on his thing. fuck that. It's going to get shown on our show next week. I will show the before and after photos of this one. This is the tuxedo ones. If I don't get that, if I don't get a new pair, it'll be the tuxedos that I'll show you. Okay, man.
All right, copy all. But I do have a correction, and I was going to announce it as I will
Mhm.
be at BlurredCon next weekend doing the pop
Ah,
culture stuff down in DC. We will not have a show next Sunday. What is that? Sunday the 9th. There will not
okay, no
be a
worries
sports
there.
bar Sunday the night. So we will return back on air the 16th. Now, trust me, I want
Oh,
it.
now the 16th. Now the 16th, I will be remote calling you from
Okay.
there, buddy. Because holy fuck, I'm going to be driving all the way back from freaking South Carolina from that night. Oh
I
yeah.
wanted so bad to not cancel next Sunday's show, but I just couldn't make the schedule work for it. Oh my goodness, coach. Let me stop before we sign out. We have 175 live viewers right now.
Hell yeah.
Plus those that are on the sports bar, plus those that are on my page. So we're at 183. I'll take that.
183. Outstanding.
Hey,
Outstanding.
you know what? To those of y'all that viewed and tuned in live, thank you. If you have not signed up for our WTF Nation Radio March Madness Tournament Challenge, it is free to join. I'm going to paste the link one more time. It has already been posted on the Sports Bars Facebook page. It is going to go across all of the WTF Nation Radio's page. $50 if you can land in first place and happen to outplay me and coach, which I doubt it'll happen, but it is what it is. The tournament's going to
Yep.
start for tip off Thursday, March the 20th. The brackets have not been set yet, but go ahead and join now so that you don't forget and try and beat us. See if you got what it takes. Now, David Cunningham posted his sign off message, and I am going to read it. Over on Facebook, my man, USMC veteran David Cunningham said, "Great show, King and Coach. Sports fans, thank you for tuning into the WTF Nation, WTF Sports Bar today. March Madness is around the corner, so get your picks in. Have a great week," with several strong arm emojis and praying hand emojis.
Hell yeah.
All right. From WTF Nation Radio, the Avatar's coach, I'm King. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care and
Peace.
peace.